Assalamualaikum and a good day. Welcome to our first session of micro-credential entitled History Taking and Anthropometric Measurement in Nutrition for Healthcare Professionals. In this course, myself, Dr. Hairina, I'll be your instructor. I'm expecting that all learners will be able to complete this course in 2 months duration with self-directed video viewing and submission of allocated tasks on MICRO-CREDENTIal platform. Overall, there are 2 main learning outcomes which further divided into 4 sub-contents. Learners are expected to complete 3 assessments throughout this course in relation to history taking and anthropometric measurements, and submission need to be performed on MICRO-CREDENTIal platform.
Basically, the 3 assessments are online quiz, role play, and case study. Here is the activity the learners need to perform prior attempting the online quiz. You are required to go for a field trip to any supermarket during shopping and explore the information on the codex or food label. For the second assessment, which is the role play, you are required in pair to brainstorm a case related to nutritional issues and record a history taken session of it. You may use provided scenario or create your own. Lastly, the third assessment will need you to perform an anthropometric measurement on your client. Kindly discuss with your superior at your workplace and obtain necessary permission from your client for this activity. The history in nursing care that uphold the importance of adequate nutrition begins in the era of a nurse known as Florence Nightingale. Many soldiers were wounded and need special attention during the Crimean War. Florence Nightingale had attended to them and took care of their hygiene measures and nutrition well to ensure speedy recovery. Florence Nightingale is known for her contribution on public health and midwifery. Among her expertise is in infection control and nursing statistics on the mortality and morbidity rate of the pregnant mother and newborn. Her contribution on nutrition is not well known as her previous mentioned role. However, previous literature did mention that the nutrient intake analysis was developed based on her recommendations and recipes for the army troops. According to Calkins 1989, the intake profile is then compared with modern recommendations for dietary intake to determine the adequacy of the diet. Lina F. Cooper was the first to direct the work of the dietitian in war service. Originally, she was a nursing student by background. She was then the co-founder of the American Dietetic Association in 1917. In 1937 to 1938, she served the association as president. In 1947, she received an honorary degree of Doctor of Science from Drexel Institute of Technology, and in 1951, she was awarded the association's highest recognition, the Marjorie Hazizer Coffer Award.
In a broad setting, the role of nurses in nutrition has expanded. They can play their role as school nurse, home health nurse, long-term care nurse, and post-surgical care nurse.
It is good to have multidisciplinary team work together collaboratively in nutrition care, which consists of physician, nurse, speech-language pathologist, dietitian, and nutritionist in the community setting.
To avoid role confusion in delivering necessary nutritional care for a client, here is the boundaries between the role of a nurse and a dietitian.
The following is the common boundaries between the role of a dietitian and a nurse. It is important for each of us to know our limits so that we do not burden ourselves unnecessarily. Besides, we must work based on our expertise and capacity of practice.
It was narrated from Wahab bin Kaisan that he heard Umar bin Abu Salama say, I was a boy in the care of the Prophet ﷺ, and my hand used to wander all over the plate. He said to me, Oh boy, say the name of Allah, eat from your right hand and eat what from is in front of you.
From this hadith narration, it shows that Islam encouraged cleanliness and tidiness even during eating. Hand shall not wander around the food, and this is also to ensure that infection do not travel while eating. And again, a different element of Islamization, which is the maqasid ash-shari'ah, protection of life, is upheld here. Furthermore, using the left hand to eat is considered unhygienic in Islamic practice, since it is used for cleaning the private part after passing motion. At the same time, Islam nurtures discipline during eating. For example, asking someone else to pass the food if it is farther from you.
In terms of cultural aspect, considering traditional practice and food taboo among society is a different element a nurse and other healthcare professionals may consider. In Malaysia, we are living harmoniously between multiracial ethnicity, and not to forget that we do have immigrants as the non-national citizen working and living in our country. Having extra additional knowledge on food culture is interesting. For further reading, you may visit this link. There are several issues on food service that integrate the Sustainability Development Goals SDG elements such as SDG 2 Zero Hunger, SDG 3 Good Health and Well-being, and SDG 6 Clean Water and Sanitation.
Food service worldwide is not without an issue. According to Allison 2012, among the challenges faced are A. Malnutrition during admission and costing, B. The need to apply evidence-based during staff training, C. Quality standards required of health authorities, purchasing groups and trust, D. Regular audit by accredited body to ensure all standards regulated is followed, and E. Management of service must include the catering, service or contractor, doctors, nurses, dietitian, pharmacy, nutritionist, and etc. who is passionate on nutrition.
I would love to close today's session with interesting quotes derived from Notes on Nursing. Nightingale devoted an entire chapter to diet. She wisely noted the main question is what the patient's stomachs can assimilate or derive nourishment from. And of these, the patient's stomach is the sole judge. Chemistry could not tell this. The patient's stomach must be its own chemist. Here are the references I've been using for preparing today's presentation.